Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 109 to 80 on the road. 109 to 80. My God. The Lakers lose in Minnesota. No Austin Reeves. No Jalen Hood-Schifino. Of course, the regulars who are out have been out. But AD played, Bron played, D'Lo played. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of what we would consider ourselves to be our main guys out there. Uh, and they all, with the exception of D'Angelo Russell, who hit 4 threes, was 8 of 12 from the field with 20 points and 5 assists, I believe it was. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, I don't remember which. But everybody was Gabe Vincent. The whole team was Gabe Vincent, all of them, running around doing nothing. It was just I can legitimately say that was probably the worst game Bron and AD have ever played together. I think that was the worst game they ever played together. In the history of them being together, this was the worst game they've played collectively. They were awful, both of them. For their standards, it was horrific. Bron was 4 of 16 from the field, over 4 from behind the arc. AD was 4 of 14 from the field. I think they both walked away with like 10 points or something like that. It was horrific. Absolutely horrific. 6 turnovers for LeBron James. Pitiful. Max Christie was like 2 of 7 from behind the arc. He couldn't hit a shot. Trey Ori was like amateur hour out there. I take it back. Everything I said about Trey Ori not needing to be in the G League. What does he need to develop? He needs a lot of development. I was wrong. It was amateur hour. He definitely needs to be in the G League. He needs to be developing. I was wrong. So as loud as I was telling you guys, oh, Trey Ori don't need to be in the G League. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He definitely needs to be down there. How did Jalen Hood-Schifino get hurt? He ended the game healthy last night, got on a flight, and got off the flight hurt. How the hell did that happen? I really wanted to see him tonight. This was a perfect opportunity for him to get some more minutes. This was bad, man. We didn't have anybody in our bench that gave us over 10 points other than... No, D'Lo started. So, yeah, nobody had over... I don't think anyone had over 7 points off the bench. It was you have to really try hard in this era to only score 80 points. We looked inept. Every bit of the dribble penetration the Timberwolves wanted, they got. They blew past everybody tonight, all night long. They blew past everybody. Nobody could stay in front of anybody at all. It was a joke. It was a real joke. The Lakers shot 6 of 31 from behind the arc, a whopping 19% from behind the arc. 21 turnovers as a team. Like, I mean, how much of this do I need to discuss? This was a new low for us, man. This is a new low for us. And I know we didn't have Austin Reeves, but I don't know what we expected Austin to do to make us look any better tonight. Given the way he's been playing, I just imagine he's going to attempt more shots, maybe get some dribble penetration, get us to the line a little more. We'd probably still lose by 1 million. I made a video earlier today talking about how we shouldn't trade away our picks to make this team better. I still feel that way, but I don't know this is the day to make the video I made. Put it like that. It just uploaded. I'm sure no one has seen it yet. I would have loved to have been able to make that video on a different day, because on this day, it's very hard to make the argument we shouldn't be doing some things to get this team some help. This is horrific, man. I don't know what to say. This team is awful tonight. Like, it really was awful. Everybody except for D'Lo was awful. How is it that D'Lo was the only player struggling about 2 weeks ago, and now tonight he's the only player playing well? Dalton Connect was terrible tonight. 0 for 5 from behind the arc. 2 for 8 from the field? It was ridiculous. Like, Rui Hachimura, I think, was 4 or 5 from the field, but only attempted 5 shots. How are we not getting the ball to the hot hand? Rui Hachimura and D'Lo should have been the guys we were trying to feature tonight, trying to get some points on the board. And you would think we would think that way. No, not us. Not us. Julius Randle walked away with 18 points. I think I'll give the game ball to Rudy Gobert, who had double-digit rebounds, some blocks. He was just more athletic than anybody down there. Sadly enough, Rudy Gobert was more athletic than everybody we had on the floor. It was good to see Max Lewis get some garbage time minutes. I thought he looked pretty impressive in a short amount of time. Love to see him get more minutes. Gabe Vincent was himself out there. He had like 5 points, a little more than usual, but he was himself. Well, who else? Cam Reddish is back from a 1-game hiatus. He ain't done nothing in the last several games that we've had him down there, man. It's just doing his best Gabe Vincent impression, jogging around, doing nothing. I would love to say I'm upset, but they're so pitiful, it ain't even worth getting upset. That's how bad they look right now. They look like a very pitiful bunch of people right now, honestly. Pitiful. I would be very surprised if they win any more games on this road trip. Well, we got Miami next, and then Atlanta. I don't know how Miami's doing. I haven't even as much as glanced at them, but I know Atlanta's been playing better. They have great perimeter defensive players. They're going to steal the ball a lot from us. If we run into Atlanta looking like this, we're going to lose for sure. Dyson Daniels is going to get 7 steals against us. I see that coming. So I don't know, Lakers. I don't really know what to tell you, man. This thing is headed south fast. It's headed south fast. LeBron James has not looked. I don't think LeBron James has had a stretch worse than this in the Laker uniform. I don't think he's had a stretch less worse than this in his entire career, to be honest with you. He's barely playable right now. Barely playable. In multiple categories, he's awful right now. And I really do believe he's dealing with a rib injury that's affecting a lot of what's going on down there. I think it's physical. Some of it's mental, I believe, but I think it's physical. Something is wrong, and he probably should have sat tonight. AD, I don't know what the hell happened with AD tonight. I don't even know what's going on. AD ain't been right since he missed them 2 free throws, to be completely honest with you. Against the Orlando Magic down the stretch, he ain't been right since. And tonight was like a whole new low for him. 4 out of 14. I don't know what the hell that was. Anthony Edwards was bad tonight. I think he walked away with like 8 points or something like that. And his team wins by 29? I mean, you know what I'm saying? What am I supposed to say, man? What am I supposed to say, Los Angeles? You look bad tonight, man. You looked bad last night, too. And with the exception of the San Antonio game, you look bad in all them games, man. At this point, how bad is this? Where are we at? We've lost like 7 of our last 8 games or something like that? Is that what this is? I lost count, honestly. I know we beat Utah, so is it like 6 of the last 8? Something like that. We've lost 6 of our last 8 games, I believe it is. Because we won the Utah game, we won the San Antonio game. Other than that, we've just been getting smoked ever since the Orlando game. Smoked. This game reminded me of the Cleveland game, where we never had a chance from start to finish. Never were in it. Never really that close. But at least against Cleveland, we were playing a little better than this. This was awful. We didn't even show up. I legitimately think that last year, this was a game that you scheduled a loss, that you set Bron, you set AD, you set a lot of people, and you just went out there and lost. Because the NBA has made it so difficult for teams to comfortably rest starters, we forced our guys to play tonight who would have likely sat, and they acted like they sat as they ran up and down the court. It's almost like a protest in a way. It's like, yo, you won't let us rest? Okay, well, this is the product you're going to get from us. We're not going to play. We're going to be out there, but we're not guarding anybody. We're not looking to hit any shots. You're going to force us to be out there. We're going to do the bare minimum. Like, that's what almost felt like Bron and AD was doing out there, the bare minimum. And the role players around him just did not look that great, with the exception of Rui, who wasn't aggressive at all, but at least hit all his damn shots. And D'Lo, who was the only person out there playing well, he's never on the same page with the rest of his teammates, ever, this season. If he's playing well, it's like, well, he's by himself over there shooting. He's on like a different frequency. He's like, the team is on one frequency, D'Lo's on his own frequency. If they're playing great, he's struggling to hell. When he's playing good, nobody's coming with him. He's going to be the only one down there. Like, you could tell there's something in that feels like that's dysfunction in the chemistry of the team. There's something about that dynamic where he looks so good out there and everybody else almost like quit. It's almost like he's by himself for real. Like, I don't know. I think the chemistry is fragile right now, or broken rather. Shattered is the word I'm looking for. I don't think guys really like one another right now. I don't think guys really trust one another right now. I don't think people are listening to JJ Redick at all right now. I just think this is gone. I think this is going south very fast. It started off really strong, but it went south quick. And I don't know what's going to get them back on track. But I don't think it's going to be no easy fix. I don't think you can make trades to fix this without giving up picks. And I don't think you should give up picks to do so. So this is just going to be a crash and burn situation if these guys don't figure themselves out. I don't expect Vando to walk through the door anytime soon. I don't expect Christian Wood to walk through the door anytime soon. Obviously, Jackson Hayes ain't coming back for another 3 weeks. This is going to get worse before it gets better, in my opinion. Bron looks like he needs to take a rest. He needs 2 or 3 games off, and he probably ain't going to be able to take it. And this is the wrong time for him to be going into Miami. I'll tell you right now, this is definitely not the way he wants to go into Miami. But he's playing his worst basketball. What can I say, man? Just in time for Miami Heat. He's playing his worst ball. And I don't know, man. I really thought Minnesota had their way with the Lakers in a very serious way. We had moments where we, cut it to 12 and stuff like that, but dribble penetration, they got everything they wanted. Closing out, they got everything they wanted. We shot pitifully from everywhere on the floor except for the free throw line. 19% from behind the arc. I don't think we've shot that bad in years, you guys. I honestly don't think we've shot that bad in years. Not since I've been doing this have I seen us shoot that poorly from behind the arc. With that type of volume, 31 shots attempted, you only hit 6 of them? I know they got some good perimeter defensive players, maybe even great ones, in Nickeil Alexander-Walker and McDaniels. But for us to look as bad as we did out there in the perimeter, I think it spoke more to us not being on sharp. And I know you want to say back-to-back. If you want to put that excuse into the fold, it's an acceptable one. It definitely came off a back-to-back. But this team looks like they're checked out. They look like they're checked out. I'm just being honest. They look checked out. And I can see where Austin's aggressiveness is probably required for this team in order for them to compete. It's almost like they were doing what they normally do, but Austin's often out there doing what he does, which draws in so many possessions that kind of takes away from it all being zeroed in on just how little effort the rest of the team actually puts in around him being uber aggressive. I almost understand Austin better, because if he doesn't do this is probably what we look like. If he's not out there going 6'17", this is what you actually seeing. Was this 4 straight games for Bron? Ain't hitting no threes, but he's attempting a bunch of them. He attempted 4 tonight. None of them fell. Not only did they not fall, but them things went clanking off left iron. It was so ridiculous tonight. I don't even know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell anybody. I think what I would do is play the young guys. Jalen Hood-Schifino, Quincy Olivare. I would play the young guys, man. I really would. You would see a lot more Max Christie going forward. I would have a nice little stretch of games where I legitimately work entirely different people into the equation. Because right now, some of these vets, some of these guys that are older, they look checked out. They don't look like they're really all into it. You know what I mean? And I just think we need something else. We need to infuse some new blood into our lineup, and we're not going to get it through trade. So this is how I would do it. Call up Quincy, call up Jalen. Them dudes would be getting like 15 minutes a game for the rest of this road trip. It's unfortunate that we didn't see either one of them tonight, because I think that energy, coupled with Max Lewis, this is when you just infuse entirely new people, and you sit everybody else. Cam Reddish, you ain't going to be seen for about a week and a half messing with me. Gabe Vincent, same thing. I'm not playing you guys like that. If this is the production you have when AD and Bron are struggling together, you can't be the guys. You can't. I need energy. I need energy. I need youth. I need athleticism, and that's what we were lacking tonight. And that's why the Minnesota Timberwolves had a first step on us all night long. And look, it was the teams that had athleticism that beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. Sacramento, Houston, they couldn't do nothing with those guys because they were more athletic than them. They did to us what those teams did to them. Is essentially what I saw tonight. Because they've been playing against those teams so very much as of late, it's almost like the difficulty was turned up and then they ran to us and we just took the night off. So they were able to run past us with the intensity necessary to compete with the Bostons, the Sacramentos, the Clipper defense. Like, they've been playing hard teams and losing. So they had to play at a certain level just to stay in the game with those teams who are playing better. And then they run into us, bring that same intensity to us, and this is what it looks like. Just blow us out. You know what I mean? That's exactly what you just saw right now. And we came in like we were facing the Utah Jazz. That's what I saw. That's exactly what it is. And that's why it's so important to watch highlights of teams when you're getting ready to face them, if you're as invested as we are on this channel, because you do get a sense of what the other team's momentum actually is going into your game. And they've been struggling and playing close games, fighting hard and losing. But these two LA games that they had back-to-back got them back on track. So that's really what it is for Minnesota. Like I said, game ball goes to Rudy Gobert. He was all over the glass tonight, putbacks, block shots. He was the man out there for them. Never quite boxed him out at all. I think a lot of what went wrong to my eyesight was just being a little too small out there. We should have used Koloko a little more, or a lot more. Troy Ori wasn't the answer at all. At all. He's not a center, first of all, but he wasn't the answer. Julius Randle, just a little more powerful than we needed for ourselves to be able to compete. He was pushing people around, rushing past people at ease. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, first step, blow past people. And that was the kind of night we had, man. That was the kind of night we had. Just flat-footed and on both sides of the floor. Very little to show for ourselves, man. 80 points speak for itself. I don't know if anybody's had that low of output offensively this season. I'd love to see who scored less than 80 points this year in the NBA. I don't think you're going to find anybody who scored less than 80 points this year. I think that probably was the lowest point total of any team played this season. I think it is. Because I've been looking at scores. I ain't seen nothing that low. And Braun and AD was on the floor. So, what can I say, man? When both of the stars play like role players and the role players play like scrubs, you get this. This is what happens. This is what happens when you've lost the locker room, JJ. I'm just being honest with you. I don't think guys are really on board with you right now. They're barely slapping hands with each other. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it went bad fast, man. And I do blame the organization for it to a degree for allowing the hangover to be so rough, because they were stuck in that space of frustration and ineptitude for so long with that bad coach that they had for the last 2 years, to now they don't really have a threshold for much of anything. And that's what I'm sensing. This wouldn't even be that bad if we didn't just come out of something so very frustrating that lasted so very long. All the more reason why you cut bait on a bad coach early, because you don't let this happen to the next coach. With the same unit, he coming in, now they checking out on him like he Darvin Ham, because they've been dealing with Darvin Ham. It's just, I don't blame JJ too much at all. It's not like I'm calling for JJ's job in any way. I definitely don't think that. I'm ready for some of these players to move on. I'll keep my coach. That's really how I feel at this point. I'm about ready to move on for some of these guys, though. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is to move picks. And that's why I said the video I made earlier today, I wish I would have made it a different day. Because on a night like this, I just don't want to be the guy making the argument that we shouldn't be making trades. Because this team is not good. It's not good. And if we're going to continue to watch this crap, we would love for it to get better. So that's the God's honest truth. I'm going to cringe through that whole video. I ain't even had a chance to watch it yet because I was rushing home. I made the video, and as soon as I got in the house, the game was on. So I ain't got a chance to listen to any of my stuff from today. But, yeah, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm having a hard time with the point I made earlier today. A real hard time with it. Because that's how unwatchable this basketball team was tonight and last night and pretty much the whole entire November. You know, mind you, we're in December now. This is the first game of December. This is how we're starting this month, for real? Or was it yesterday? Was the first day of December yesterday? Either way, the Utah game might as well have been a loss. We know that. We're playing some horrible basketball to start this month, you guys. Horrible. It's not even like, oh, we're just losing games. No, hell no. We're getting a lunch 8 out there. It's horrible. Like, I was complaining bad when we were going on that losing streak, but this has gotten significantly worse. Minnesota Timberwolves are a fairly good team, 500, I guess. I don't know if that they are their record, but I would constitute them as a good team. They certainly look better than us. And what did I say? We can't beat good teams. We can't beat them. Maybe Austin's the answer. Maybe if you have Austin Reeves out there and he goes for 1 million attempts, maybe that's just enough gravity to create space that we didn't have tonight. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he was the difference. If he has 29 points, which he never does, but if he has it, it's a tie game, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if there's a solution for this. I think we may be sitting in this spot for a little while, y'all. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know that we're going to find a solution for this. This is just what it is. And the collective bargaining agreement, coupled with where we're at in the season, just makes it so that you can't foresee any trades coming in to save the day anytime soon. You just don't see it. And I'm telling you, if the way we played tonight, if we keep this up, we're going to be out of play-in tournament fast. Out of the range, we're going to fall. We've been tumbling down the standings, obviously. Last I checked, we were like in 7th place or something like that. Believe me, if we keep doing this, we're not going to be there. And we're going to be helping the... Who gets our pick? Was it Atlanta? Atlanta Hawks get Cooper Flag and we keep this garbage up. It's like we turned into Philadelphia over the last 2 weeks. Y'all notice that? Like the way that Philadelphia was struggling to start the season and how they've been struggling throughout the season. It's like since the Orlando game, we've basically been Philadelphia. Basically. I don't see much difference. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.